Hi everyone. Okay, so I'm going to make a couple of quick tutorials just to help you with the civil, especially in CAD, with the questions that I've been asked. I just want to give you some insight to certain things. Okay, look at this example. What we have here is a civil drawing. We have the sectional cut AA. We could also say sectional elevation on AA. But you can just write the sectional cut on AA as well. That doesn't matter. And then obviously we have the floor plan with the scale of 1 to 50. Okay, so when you look at the sectional cut, which is the front view, and the floor plan obviously is the top view. But if you look at the front view and the cut on it, and you'll see there's hatching on the walls, but it just looks as a solid black color. Okay, in fact, this is a hatch, but if I zoom in, you will see there is actually hatching allocated to that layer of the hardcore in this case. But that's not how you should print it. That's not how it should be. Yes, the concrete slabs hatching is perfect, and the hardcore's hatching is perfect here. That's not a problem. But do you see the earth hatching here, which I've just selected? That is incorrect because it just appears as one solid, and that's what it will print out like. And also the wall here, if you zoom in, you'll see it actually has got the civil wall hatching, but it's too intense, so we need to change that. Okay, so I'm going to go and just go to the floor plan and show you this is what it should look like. This is what your floor plan's hatching should look like. This is also exactly how the wall on your sectional cut should look like. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to show you now how to do the hatching. Now, if you were wondering what are these numbers, if you look at all the memos that has been provided to you, you would see these numbers actually are the memo marking. So we have a number for each area of your drawing, and these numbers represent where you get marks. Okay, whether or not you did it right or wrong. But for now, that's not the tutorial that I want to teach. I just want you to know. Okay, so the first thing, if we want to now hatch this part of the wall, what we need to do is first go, you would only see actually a line here and the line tool on the far left of your screen. If you click and hold, you will see you now have the option to select various other options. We need the polyline. Now, I've already created a hatching layer. So if you go here to the toolbar, you will see that I actually have a hatching floor plan layer. If you didn't have it, what you need to do is go to Options, go to Layers, then here you would just click on New, and then you would create the hatching floor plan layer. I've made it gray, made it a continuous line, and the weight of, or the thickness of that line must be 0. Okay, so that's how you create it. Once you've created it and you've now clicked here on the polyline, you will be able to select the hatching layer. Make sure that you select the hatching layer before you start drawing. So I'm going to select that. Then, very important, when we start drawing a hatching layer, you have to remember to end where you started. So what I want to do is make sure that I remember that I've started here where the outside wall and the window meet, and I need to finish where I started. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to follow. Remember, I've made sure that all my settings are correct here at the top. Everything's saved by layer because I already created the layer. So I'm going to go and snap now to the corner, zoom in and out while you are drawing. Make sure that you do get those corners, that you do actually select the right corners, and that you snap to the corner perfectly. And then what you need to do is just carry on doing that. Because it's a polyline, you can continuously carry on. And then what happens is that you are going to snap to that corner. And now, just before I click, I just want to make sure you see this. The end of the line is now loose, but I need to end where I started. So I'm going to snap there with the left click once, and then the line is still loose. Now right click once, and now I have two options. I can go either close or finish. Never finish if you want to hatch a layer that you've drawn with a polyline. You must close it. It's very important. If you didn't close it, you won't be able to hatch that layer. So close that layer. Now you have the layer set up, and all I need to do is use my selected tool, and then I'm going to click where I know that line for that polyline is. If you click on the line, it will only select the line that you've drawn off the outside wall first, but if you click on the polyline, then excuse me, you will be able to actually hatch that layer. Now it provides for you a selection of the whole area where the polyline has been drawn, and there's a yellow dot in the middle. So I'm going to double click on that. It opens this window, and I'm going to click on brush, and then once I've clicked on brush, from the top down, very important to work from the top down, I can go and select the brush pattern, which will give me the civil hatching. So I'm going to go down till I meet the first line, which is this one, the double lines for civil hatching, and you will see the name for it is ANSI 32 in TurboCAD. So now look at the scale. It's 25, which I know is too big, but let's just see what it looks like once I clicked on OK. And you see, this is way too big. The proportion of that is not correct. I only missed this part of the wall. Doesn't matter. This is just to explain to you how to do this. So if I double click on this, I want to change the scale now to 10. And that should give me more or less the hatching proportion that I need. Yes, that works fine. You can even go down to 8 if you want. But if you go too small, let's double click and do it. If we go now, say for instance to 2, look at what happens. That's way too intense. And if you go even smaller, it happens what happened here with the earth hatching. Okay, so what I have to do is double click on it again, go there, change the scale to 10, say OK, and now I know that is acceptable. For paper drawings, obviously, this is also too close to one another. On paper, you will have to do only every second double line. But in TurboCAD, this is perfectly fine because obviously that is the only way that you can do it in CAD, unless you now obviously go and draw all of these 45-degree double lines yourself. But obviously we want you to use the hatching tool. Okay, so that is how you firstly will select the area with a polyline to hatch. After you've set up the hatching layer, then you would hatch it, then you will give it a brush pattern, which is the ANSI 32, and then that will be the solution that you get. Now let's look at the sectional cut, the front view. If you now want to go and change this earth hatching to the scale that's proper, I think you understand now what to do. Double click on that area, go to brush. Now make sure that it is the earth hatching that is selected, and then you up the scale, and I think I'm going to make it 20. And see, yeah, that's okay. I can work with that, but I want to make it a little bit less than that, 15. And yeah, that looks a bit better. By the way, I see that these examples don't have the earth going around the foundation. That is actually important, that the earth must go around the foundation here, and the earth must go around the foundation here. That is very important. Don't just draw the earth right underneath the hardcore like they've done in this example. That is actually not correct. You must have some of the earth going around here. Okay, especially on your paper drawings, that is even more important. Okay, so that is how you change the scale of that. Let's go to this wall. It's too intense, so what I want to do is go to brush, change the scale. Let's make it 15 again. Let's see how that looks. That's not enough. We need to go to 10. Change that to 10. And let's see how it looks. Yeah, okay, but it's not on the hatching layer, so I need to go select it. So if you have got if you got it wrong, if you drew the hatching on the wrong layer, what you can do is instead of drawing everything from scratch, select that layer or the part of the layer that you want. Go to your hatching layers, drop it on there, and then you'll see. If your layers are set up, it automatically fixes that and places it now on your civil hatching layer. Okay, that's the tutorial for how to hatch the floor plan and how to adapt the intensity or proportion of hatching on a civil drawing. Thank you.